everybody. Welcome back. This is Miss Faye, and this is my world. All right, today's topic, we're going to talk about how celibacy can change your life for the better. Before we get started, I'd like to say welcome. Welcome to all the new viewers, the new subscribers, and welcome to those of you who have been with me from the beginning. I really appreciate you. Now we have a letter. So let's dive right into this letter and see what she says. I've been celibate for over 10 years. Good for you. I'm a 65-year-old. Just wondering, is that a good thing to be celibate for a long time? Yepper, it is. I've been celibate for a long time, and I have seen miracles happen in my life. Being celibate is power. But the thing is, you got to realize the power in it. Then you need to realize how to use this power to your own benefit. Okay? It seems like no man wants to approach me. I'm very independent, well put together. I don't really have friends. Okay, but let's look at this statement. It doesn't seem like any man wants to approach you. It's because they feel your elevated vibration. They're not on your level. That's why they have not approached you. You're not even on their frequency. You will attract someone closer to your frequency. Now that you are celibate, your frequency has risen. Okay? You're not like the same person you were when you were sexually active. Okay? Celibacy is a different frequency. So now you don't want to attract these deadbeats anyway. If you're out to attract anybody, you're 65, what are you trying to do? You would just like to have a companion. And to have a companion means that you got to sleep with him. Now, I think your mindset needs to change with your celibacy. Now, was your celibacy by choice? Or did it just work out like that? Okay, now that's a difference. If you're claiming celibacy just because you haven't had the opportunity, that's a different thing. Because your mind has not changed. You see, this is what I'm saying is there is power in celibacy, but if you don't know how to use that power or to access that power, then it's not going to mean much to you. Then you're just not having sex. Okay? Celibacy is something that you choose. You choose celibacy because you want something better for your life. That's why you choose it. Now, we'll get into that, but let's go on with the letter. These men don't approach you because they're not at your level anymore. You're very independent, well put together, don't really have friends. Well, now here's the thing. Again, it goes back to your celibacy. If you are on a spiritual path, then that explains why there's no friends around. Because on your spiritual path, people fall away from you because you're vibrating at a higher frequency. And you'll meet less people on that path than you would ordinarily, because ordinary people are on a lower vibration. Okay? So when you raise your vibration, you kind of come above that crowd. I just work and come home. Well, what's wrong with that? What is it that you want to do at 65? Okay? Can you give me some ideas on how to continue to stay focused on things that will inspire me to stay celibate? Okay, now here's the thing. That's, again, let's go into why celibacy is a good idea. And again, from your letter, it's not clear whether you chose to be celibate or you just haven't had the opportunity to be with anyone. So now you're going to call it celibacy. That's not the same thing. No. Celibacy is an intentional choice. Okay. That's the only way you're going to get the spiritual benefit from it, if you choose it for your life. Now, celibacy can have emotional, mental, physical, and even spiritual benefits, depending on the reason a person chooses it and how they embrace the lifestyle. See, once you choose it, then you're going to embrace the lifestyle of celibacy. You're not going to feel like, oh, you missed it out. And from your letter, that's why it doesn't sound like you chose it, because your letter sounds like you feel you're missing out on something by being celibate. And that's why you're probably not seeing the blessings in it. Okay? But, all right, let's look at some of the benefits of being celibate. I've been celibate for, I don't know if I've been celibate as long as you, but it's been a long time. It's close to that. And I praise it. I really do. At first, when I made the decision, I made a conscious decision to be celibate. I wasn't going to have sex with anybody else. I didn't want anybody touching me again. You see? And I was able to stick to that. You know, I still had urges. And when I had my urges, I went out and got myself a little toy and took care of those urges and kept going. Kept going. Okay? So you don't have to be with another person to satisfy yourself sexually. Okay? That's the point. Now, because you talked about to give you some ideas to inspire you to stay celibate. If you got a lot of sexual urges, get yourself a toy. That'll take care of that. Okay. Now, the emotional and mental benefits of being celibate. Without sexual pressure, people often focus on genuine compatibility. When there's no sex involved, then they, concentrate on seeing if they really like being with each other. And that's what you want. There's less stress and anxiety, especially if your partner knows that you are celibate. You see, there's no pressure about having to tell him, no, I'm not interested. I know I'm not going to do it, or whatever, or he pressuring you. Abstaining from sex can reduce worries about pregnancy, STDs, and partners' expectations. Stronger self-control. It helps you to be more confident in yourself, to love yourself, pamper yourself, and be totally in control of your emotions. And that's power. Focus on healing. For those recovering from heartbreak, abuse, toxic patterns, celibacy creates an emotional space for recovery. You're not being involved sexually with other people. You know, this whole saying, if a heartbreak, to get over a heartbreak is to run out and get under somebody else. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's the worst thing you can do. Get over a heartbreak. Be celibate. It's part of your healing. Get off all of those negative energies and bonds that you have created with people that you've had sex with. Those soul ties. You got to get rid of them. It's part of the healing process. Greater self-worth. By stepping back from sexual validation, many people rediscover their identity and confidence on their own terms. Because you will find that you won't be bending over backwards just to be validated by other people. And a lot of times we do that. A lot of times we just have sex so that we can get that validation from that other person that we are lovable. No, don't do it. The physical and health benefits. Improved energy. Some report more physical vitality since energy isn't drained by the sexual partner. So every time you are engaged in sex, you're giving away your energy. This way, you can use that energy, that bottled up energy, to manifest the desires in your life. It's that same creative force that you put into the universe with your intentions to change your reality. But if you're just giving your sexual energy away here and everybody, well, then you have nothing. You have no force to put behind your intentions in the universe. They're just, and hopefully the universe can pick up that faint frequency. But when you're celibate, that frequency is strong. Okay? Healing time. For those with past trauma or physical conditions, celibacy allows the body to rest and recover. Okay? Better sleep and hormone balance. Less emotional roller coasters from sexual entanglements, and can improve your rest and reduce stress hormones. So see, there are some wonderful benefits in being celibate and reasons why you should be celibate. Now, what about a deeper spiritual connection? Many spiritual traditions see celibacy as a way to channel sexual energy into prayer, meditation, or higher awareness. And this is very true. This is what I was trying to say to you. If you are not wasting your sexual energy, you can use that energy behind your intentions to put into the universe to manifest the things that you desire. It's a powerful energy. Oh, people often experience greater mental stillness and clarity when you're not bombarded with other energies mixing in with yours. Energies once spent on relationships or sex can be redirected into personal goals, career, creativity, or service. Breaking cycles. Helping people step away from toxic relationship dynamics, lust-driven choices, or dependency on others. All of these are benefits of being celibate. You don't feel dependent on others anymore. I'm telling you, being celibate is empowering if you choose it. Not that you just find yourself not having sex. Okay, that needs to be very clear here. Now, there are some relationship benefits in being celibate. Healthier boundaries. It creates a room to establish emotional intimacy before physical intimacy. You see, so you go into a relationship being celibate, it'll give you an opportunity to bond with that partner before you get physical. Because if you get physical first, the bonding is more difficult. Okay? So be smart, ladies. Be celibate. Discernment. It makes it easier for you to see red flags when you celibate. You can see all the red flags when you celibate. But if you have sex, everything gets clouded because you have taken in their energy and it has contaminated you. So whatever they do, I say looking through rose-colored glasses, but your vision is clouded. Your perspective is not on point. It's almost like you're under some type of hypnosis. Okay? You can create a stronger and a deeper bond with your partnership by being celibate because both partners may experience greater trust, patience, and respect. Now, here are some steps to preserve your celibacy. I know I told you one step. If you get horny all the time, get yourself a toy. Okay? Number two, define your purpose. Why you chose celibacy. Because you got to know why you're doing it. All right? Once you know your purpose, well, then it will help to stabilize and to strengthen the discipline around it. And it will give you strength when temptation comes. But make sure you don't put yourself in situations where temptation is imminent. All right, for instance, don't be in a situation with somebody that you are attracted to alone. Don't put yourself there. And then you won't be tempted in these situations where he's going to be trying to seduce you and you're going to be, it's going to be difficult. And before you know it, you may not be strong enough to say no. Unless you've been celibate for a while and you are firm in your purpose, then you're strong no matter what. But for those of you who may not be that strong, just don't put yourself in a situation like that. And choose creative outlets, things you like to do, hobbies. You might like art, gardening, going around the craft fairs, things like that. Redirect that energy into something else, something positive. For me, I always have projects around the house. You got a house, you never run out of projects. Okay. So I know how to keep busy where I don't feel like I'm alone and I don't feel sexually depraved or anything like that. As a matter of fact, I concentrate on being happy. That's my concentration, on things that make me happy. And that's what I'm thinking about throughout my day. What makes me happy? Okay. And before you know it, the universe will bring it right to me. All right. That's the way you want to be. But being celibate strengthens your connection with the divine source. This is one key that people don't understand, the power in it. Being celibate can help you open up those doors that have not been opened to you before. Now, during your celibacy, it is important for you to care for yourself and take care of your body and eat right. Okay? Always get on the eating right because that is so important. And people feel like as long as they are praying or meditating or whatever, no matter what they eat is that's really not going to make a difference, but it does. It makes a big difference. Think about it. If you are still eating flesh, any kind of flesh, meat, fish, any kind of flesh, then you are digesting energies from these animals. Okay? There was a time in ancient times when tribes would eat flesh of these vicious animals that they captured so that they can have that energy in them. Maybe, the warriors needed to go to war and they wanted to be these vicious warriors, so they'll go kill a vicious animal, eat the flesh so that the energies will be in them. Well, nothing has really changed. When you eat meat and flesh, you got all those energies in you. And that is also a blockage to your divine connection. Those energies. That's why you don't want to mix your energies with partners, with having sex with a whole lot of partners or a toxic partner. You don't want to do that, have that energy in you, because it's going to block you manifesting your desires in life. This is the whole thing. So eating right, you want to eat balanced foods, no flesh. That's what I'm going to say. It's better not to eat any flesh. Okay? But being celibate is all about loving yourself. And when you tell people that you're celibate, when you meet a man and you tell him that you're celibate, number one, he's not going to believe you. Number one, he's going to feel like that he can seduce you anytime. You're not for real. And he will try to break that celibacy. All right. Now, unless you meet a decent man who might say, okay, let's do it together. That's a plus. Okay. It sounds like you're close on the same page. All right. But if you are with a man who wants to date you anyway, after you said that you are celibate, you still got to guard yourself. Don't go to his house. Don't invite him to your house when it's just you. Now, yeah, like if you had a gathering, people at your house and you invite him, that's a different thing. Let him go when the guest goes. But don't be alone with him. All right, because he's still going to try to seduce you. And you need to be strong enough to steer yourself away from that. All right, because you want to guard your celibacy. And this is why it's important that you chose to be celibate. Once you choose to be celibate, you're not going to let anybody just persuade you in a different direction, because you have made this choice. So I hope that you understand the message today, and I really hope that it helps someone. Now, those of you who may have a question that you'd like for me to answer, my email address is in the description. And if you're looking for today's affirmation, the link is also in the description. I want to thank you so much for supporting this channel. Thank you for your comments and your letters. And a very special thank you to those that leave a donation. I really appreciate all of you. I wish you all the very best. And I really hope to see you next time.